Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us today in Bayshore. And it is going to be a beautiful day later on. But right now, we're here to talk about the beginning of summer, heading into Memorial Day. I'm Islip Town Supervisor Angie Carpenter, and I'd like to welcome all of you and also introduce those who are here with us this morning. From the town board, I want to thank our retired Navy captain and senior council member John Cochran.
Thank you.
Representing Councilman Jim O'Connor is Krupa Loricella. The Commissioner of Suffolk County Police Department, a good friend to the town, Stu Cameron. Am I blocking you?
No.
Okay. From the NYS Coast Guard Marine Safety Detachment, Inspector Morgan Bengio. And we have with us two members of the Suffolk County Police Department Marine Bureau. Our Commissioner of Public Safety, Tony Perdenti. Our Commissioner of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs, and also DPW, Tom Owens. And also we have members of the Islip Harbor Patrol. And from Fire Island Ferries, the General Manager, Dave Anderson. And also joining us this morning, the owner of Marine Max, a wonderful boat dealership in Lindenhurst, crossed over town borders, but lives in our town, Matt Barbara. So, you know, every year we're here at this exact spot, it seems, just before the unofficial kickoff of summer to remind residents, and particularly the boating community, of the importance of using safe boating practices while on the water. I can't think of another Memorial Day weekend where this message has more importance than it does today. Boat sales have skyrocketed this last year during the pandemic, and the trend shows of no slowing signs for 21. Dealerships are struggling to maintain inventory, and manufacturers are expanding production capacity to meet the demand. First-time buyers are entering the market in larger numbers, and what's scary is these first-time buyers are very often first-time boaters. Last year, the number of first-time boat buyers rose up 10% over the last 10 years, and it's the first time there's been any kind of an increase, certainly to that magnitude. Sales of boats, marine products, and services across the country leaped to a 13-year high of $47 billion, a 9% increase over the previous year. With more boats on the water, we must be more cautious now more than ever before. According to the most recent stats from the U.S. Coast Guard, there were 4,168 recreational boating accidents, causing 613 deaths, over 2,500 injuries, and approximately $55 million in damage to property. And the 5 largest contributing causes to accidents, no surprise, was operator inattention, operator inexperience, improper lookout, excessive speed, and alcohol use, all things that certainly can be addressed and remedied. Of the 282 accidents related to alcohol use, 113 resulted in a death, the largest single contributor to the death total. In New York State, you will be arrested for BWE for operating a boat or a personal watercraft with a blood alcohol content of 0.08 or higher. Brianna's Law went into effect, and we advocated for that many years in this very spot. That went into effect in January of 20, requiring all operators of motorized watercraft to complete a state-approved boating safety course. The only downside was they had a grace period up to 2025 to be certified. So we would just urge everybody to, if you're at all interested in operating a motorized watercraft, visit the New York State website or briannaslaw.com. The Town of Islip will also be offering a boat safety course, and details will be posted on the town's website at islipny.gov. We live really in one of the most beautiful parts of Long Island, with the Great South Bay right behind us, with so much to do, sailing and paddle boarding and kayaking, jet skiing, boating, but just please, let's keep it safe for everyone. At this time, I would like to invite to the podium Commissioner Stu Cameron. Stu?
Thank you, Supervisor Carpenter, and it's my pleasure to be here with the Town of Islip, a great partner with our department. Many people look forward to this time of year. You wouldn't know it looking at today as I watch some of the media put sweatshirts on because it's such a gloomy day. But many people look forward to this time of year because it's a time that they can get out and enjoy the beautiful things that Long Island has to offer, including the great South Bay. A lot of water activities, boating, jet skiing, fishing. So there's a lot of great things to do. And I think I can be bold enough to speak for everybody that stands behind me to say that we're all interested in two things. We want people to enjoy the summer, but we want people to do so safely. And that's really what we're talking about today, to do so safely. And a lot of things with boating can be hazardous. What would be a minor emergency on land or a minor inconvenience on land can turn into a really dire situation on the water if you're not prepared. And as Supervisor Carpenter said, if you're a first-time boater, and we did see a drastic increase in boating last year, a lot of people discovered the Great South Bay last year because there wasn't much else to do during the pandemic. There's a lot of new boaters out there. So definitely training. Take that safety course, even if you're not required, if you're new on the water. You'll definitely learn something that'll help you be more safe. Be concerned about speed. You want to keep your boat speed down to within the limits. Alcohol. Alcohol is an issue operating a car, and it's an issue operating a vessel. And then you want to be prepared with the proper safety equipment. And one of the most important pieces of safety equipment is the personal flotation devices. You need to have a personal flotation device on your vessel for every person that's on board, and they are sized. There are children's sizes of PFD. So if you have children on board, they should have the appropriate size, children's size PFD. Children under 12 need to wear a PFD on the boat at all times in case there's some type of issue on the boat. We saw last year a tragic event where there was a fatality early into the boating season last June, and we don't want to see that again. Boats lack a lot of the safety features we see in cars. They don't have airbags, they don't have seat belts. So even a minor collision between two vessels can have catastrophic consequences, as we saw last year. So again, the message is enjoy the summer, enjoy the beautiful things that Town of Islip has to offer, but please do so safely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. And his words are so true. We want to enjoy it, and please don't become a statistic. I would now like to invite to the podium Tony Perdenti, our Commissioner of Public Safety. Tony?
Thank you, Supervisor. Just to reiterate what the Commissioner said earlier, we're looking forward to a great summer. I know a lot of people have been pent up and are looking for outdoor activities now that we're starting to be outside more. But we have noticed a definite increase of new boaters and boats on the water and watercraft. We just want everybody to make sure that they are safe speed. Islip Town Harbor Patrol will be assisting SCPD Marine Bureau doing safety checks. So if you see our guys pull up on you, be assured they're here to help. And they'll go over your boat, they'll do a checklist, make sure you have all the required equipment, those PFDs and life-saving equipment and fire extinguishers and stuff like that. So we're here to help. We can't wait for the boating season to get going. Islip is a great place, 100 miles or so of coastline, Great South Bay, Fire Island, great beaches. We're hoping for a nice, safe summer, and we need your partnership and cooperation to have that. The town would also be offering, coming up in the next month or two, boater safety classes that our state-certified instructors will teach. Those details will be posted on islipny.gov. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. I'd now like to ask someone who has had an awful lot of experience on the water, our retired Navy captain and Councilman John Cochran, who I think you've spent over 30 years at least, right?
Yes, ma'am.
John, if you would.
Thanks, Sue. Good morning, everyone. What's really important is we have the Coast Guard here, the Suffolk County Police, our Harbor Police, and fire departments. They've all helped out with helping our boaters out in the Great South Bay. It's a large body of water. You don't think so, but when you're out there on it. And also this spring already, we've had 2 boats run aground over by Sexton Island, which causes a lot of communication between the different services because these people don't understand the buoy system. And they think they can go run full bore and not realize there's a sandbar. We do not license boaters. And now we have all these boaters out there that have to take a 6-hour course but don't really understand what's actually happening with Mother Nature with what's happening at Bay. And thank goodness we have these men and women who are out there assisting people in distress. And now we're going to introduce marijuana into the game with alcohol. So it's going to be a trying time for our men and women in uniform this summer. So hopefully use our heads and people learn how to operate boats and what the navigation system in the United States is. Thank you, Supervisor.
Thank you so much, Councilman, and really thank you for your service. Now I would like to invite our Commissioner of Parks. It's been a busy time getting all of the parks and marinas and everything ready for the season. Gentlemen from the Parks Department, good to see you. Our Commissioner, Tom Owens. Tom?
Thank you, Supervisor. As your Parks Commissioner in the Town of Islip, we're elated to give you back your recreation. Our slip rental we're at about 90%. It's the most slips we rented in about 20 years, so we expect a lot of people to be on the water. We have a very well-trained staff that are out there to assist you, and we're ready to give you back your recreation, and I thank you very much. Be safe.
Thank you, Commissioner. Talking about being out on the water, as we've been standing here this morning, we've seen the freight boats going by from Fire Island ferries. You kind of forget what all happens down here, getting everybody ready for the summer season. But someone who is no stranger to the waters of the Great South Bay and very concerned about making sure that everyone that is out there is capable of being out there and knows what they're doing, because it can only result in tragedy, and they've had a lot of near misses with the ferries. So I would like to introduce Dave Anderson, who is the General Manager of Fire Island Ferries.
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. You heard the Supervisor talk about Brianna's Law and certification and licensing of recreational boaters. As of January 1st, 2025, regardless of your age, you will be required to have taken a boater safety course and obtain a boater safety certificate / license. As a ferry operator, I've been in this business for 40 some odd years right now, and we have some of the best professionals in the industry working for us. One of our deepest concerns, now keep in mind, we want everybody to enjoy the water. The water is a great place for everyone to be, whether you're at the beach, whether you're on the bay fishing or whatever, but we do want you to do it responsibly. And like Supervisor said, there has been an increase in boating traffic on the Great South Bay and all the waterways of the United States for that matter, especially during this COVID season. And now that we're on the tail end of it, people are starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with it. One of the concerns that we do have, we have a day like today where we do have some fog here. And years ago there have been, at least when I started, taking a ferry across the bay, you relied on your compass and a stopwatch to get you across and just maintaining a proper lookout. But with the introduction of now GPS units and cell phones, people have gotten a lot more comfortable with just going out on days like this and not even thinking about it. Not even realizing that GPS is not going to be able to see somebody else on the water. You need a radar to do that. So our captains are extremely well versed in this process, and we can see them on the radar. But at the same time, what keeps me up at night when we start getting into this boating season is I have to worry about the people that are not being responsible, the people who are out there without the experience, people who are out there who have been drinking, people who are out there without lights on. Like I said, we can see them on our navigational equipment, but they can't see us. And that's a general concern for us. As a matter of fact, talking about representing and being out on the water, we had one of our crews last year rescue 6 people on a sinking boat right off of Islip Benjamin Beach, Bayberry Beach, I'm sorry. And kudos goes to them. We train very hard for situations like that, and fortunately that had a good outcome. But like I said, we just are asking everybody to enjoy themselves on the water, do it responsibly. If you have to think twice of whether or not you should or shouldn't go out, then you probably shouldn't go out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dave. And some of those other obstacles that they have to face too, we've seen a big increase in the jet skiers, and sometimes they're a little bit foolhardy and not judicious in their travels on the water. So we would ask everyone to please be safe. I'd like to bring up someone who's bringing a different perspective, and that's a gentleman who is the owner of Max Marine, and that's Matt Barbara, a boat dealership in Lindenhurst. Matt?
Yes. Thank you, Angie. Appreciate Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Barbara. I'm not from Marine Max. I own Surfside
I
3.
am
It's
sorry.
all right. Anyway, I'm here from the private sector and just wanted to let everybody know that most of our marinas today are full, which in the last 5-6 years they haven't been. And I encourage all the marina owners, like we have done in the past couple of weeks, is have auxiliary Coast Guard people coming down to the marina, checking the boats on a voluntary basis to make sure everybody has their right Coast Guard equipment on the boat. We also have prepared each of our offices at our marinas. I brought, they give us free stuff, the Coast Guard, all boating, the life jackets. Everyone should have this on their boat to prepare. It's not only worrying about you running your boat, it's the gentleman that's running it next to you. It has no clue where he's going. So again, I encourage from the private sector, from all the marina owners, to try and basically let's teach our consumers, our customers, how to boat safely. Our business is way up. Our marinas are full. So if we can help educate our boaters to have a safe season and a healthy season, it's all we can ask for. But again, Angie, thank you, and everybody's safe on the water. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Matt and Surfside. And I'm so glad you made reference to the Coast Guard. And I'd like to ask Morgan Bengio, who is the Marine Inspector, to please come forward.
Thank you very much, Madam Supervisor. And thank you everyone here today. This is an excellent concerted effort to promote boating safety in and around Long Island. So thank you all very much. To further statistics mentioned earlier, this is just for the Northeast. There was a 67% increase in recreational boating deaths. That went from 30 to 50 from 2019 to 2020. 74% of those cases were victims that unfortunately were not wearing life jackets. The Coast Guard is going to take several steps to targeted and aimed at preventing these types of tragedies from happening. That's going to include at-sea recreational boating safety inspections and boardings, where they're going to stop vessels and ensure the safety of that vessel being operated. There's several social media campaigns that the Coast Guard's using to really get the word out there and push for a safe 2021 boating season, including the hashtag Wear It initiative. This already passed. The Wear Your Life Jacket to Work Day, unfortunately, was May 21st. But these are all events that the Coast Guard's using to bring awareness to that. And then strengthening our partnership and coordinated efforts with our local agencies, state and local agencies, to really have a concerted goal of boating safety. Additionally, a new engine cutoff switch requirement went into effect April 1st of 2021, requiring a safety kill switch be worn on engines over 3 horsepower. That's going to assist if an operator were to accidentally fall overboard and stop the vessel from continuing to run. The Coast Guard additionally has several reporting and resources out there, including iPhone and Android applications. The Coast Guard app itself has a lot of good information about requirements and safety equipment to have on boats. Additionally, with the reporting, if you suspect something suspicious on the waterways, there's a feature on that app to report it. Another application, CGIS Tips, which is CGIS TIPS, that stands for Coast Guard Investigative Service, where you can report what you believe to be illegal charters. Illegal charters are something that the Coast Guard has a concerted effort here in Long Island, and we're working very hard to identify those, educate the boating public, and ultimately stop illegal charters from happening. Again, that information it's online at Coast Guard websites. The Coast Guard Auxiliary and U.S. Power Squadron all have resources that can be accessed. Thank you very much, Supervisor.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Morgan. And I appreciate you recognizing the fact that it is a concerted effort. I know that almost everyone standing behind me meets regularly with Fire Island Law Enforcement Council, where information is always shared. And just listening to everybody in the concerted effort, I'm going to check on something with the Commissioner. When we issue those permits, do we give them those wonderful pamphlets that Matt is showing on boater safety. So it's an opportunity for us as the person is first getting their permit to help in that education process, because that's really, really key.